Everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. Today we're going to be going over our Earth heroes. We've already done Fire, Light, and Ice. So today will be Earth and Dark. And if you want to see the other ones, they should be in the link description below. So we're just going to talk about all of our 6-star units we've used. I'm not going to talk about ones I haven't used, just the ones I've personally used, where they kind of worked out for me. What I wish I had done better, what I wish I'd done the same, you know, like just all sorts of stuff about those units. Also, just to mention right now, it is free equipment removal. So a lot of my units are all over the place because of that. Not like they're not all over the place anyway, but just a little bit more excuse for that. So we're just going to go down the list, top to bottom. First up is Destina. Destina, I've got 7 Moleagora in, and I haven't touched her since basically 454, I think, is when I switched from Destina to Angelica. And don't get me wrong, that does not mean that I think Angelica is better than Destina. In fact, I do think Destina is better than Angelica where we are right now. But I don't have the gear for her, so I haven't really given her any love. I forced myself to Moleagora her just because I knew I wanted to use her, but I just haven't had the ability to do so yet. I tried to do some crafting recently with the new change. Did not go well, so I still have no HP percent rings. That said, if I was to build her, I want to build her on a counter set. I want to build her with Celestine and just as much effect resistance and HP as humanly possible. And if you're one of those people trying to decide between Destina or Angelica, I do think Angelica is just a little bit easier to get going, but I think Destina is the better choice, kind of endgame. As for Baiken here, she's my next up on the list. We have her B rank 444 Moleagoras here. I should probably just max her out. Like, we've already gone this way. Why not just max her? She's sitting on 85% crit chance. You'll know her to be the one missing crits on Crow with 99% chance. It's what she does. We have RNL on her. I've tried all the different artifacts. I don't know if RNL is the best. It's just my favorite, and I have a blast using it. I have her with 171 speed right now. I've tried her with so many different speeds, and honestly, she's perfect in all of them. Right now, I'm grouping her with Auxiliary Lots in PvP, and she just gets infinity turns. Like, between her and Aux Lots together, just so many flippin' turns, back and forth, and she basically wipes out anything. Like, as long as I don't miss that 99% chance to crit, she wipes out anything. And I have her on a hit attack set. Fine with basically any set. Speed set works, destruction set, a bunch of crit sets, anything at all works on her. I just kind of like the way she's at right now. Yeah, and that's about it. So let's go down to Violet here. Violet is one of my favorite units in the game right now and has been one of my favorites since the day he came out. He's also the luckiest I've ever been on a banner, and I feel like I've been cursed ever since his banner. We got him in 2 summons. I have not changed his gear. Like, I literally haven't touched his gear since I think the very, very first free equipment removal. I've been using it ever since then. We're just using a lifesteal set. I really think lifesteal is a necessity. And I have an offensive HP set. So I'm using offensive substats here and offensive substats here. So that puts him at 12.5k HP, 184 speed, 80 crit chance, and 3600 attack with a decent amount of defense and everything too. We've also got our maxed Moonlight Dreamblade. He's a godsend for me. I actually should put more Moleagora into him. I wish I could take that one out as well. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised I don't have this Mullah Gord any further, to be honest, because of how much I use this guy. He's also great with the ladies. Like, he's amazing in raid. He camps with everybody. Just throw him in your raid team. You'll get like 40-something morale. He is great at that. He also does almost every boss pretty well, except the hardest hard boss right now. So hopefully in the future, having him tank one of the later bosses is going to be much better. But right now, he's not too great against the current boss. Next up, we have Bologna. And Bologna is one of those ones I used flippin' everywhere. Like, I actually used Bologna literally everywhere in the entire game. I used it for PvP, for Guild War Defense, for all sorts of PvE, for Abyss, for Raid, for everything. And then I just kind of stopped using her. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it was the right choice or not. She's probably Outside of Araminta, my favorite design character in the game. Like, she's just a perfect specimen, you know? Like, she's got absolutely everything going for her. Everybody loves her personality. Everybody loves her tights. Everybody loves her fan. Everybody loves her hair. She's just, like, perfect. And that's amazing. And as for what I'm doing with her now, she's just kind of on the sidelines. I feel like AoE defense break is just not a thing I care about right now. For a couple reasons. One is just you don't need it for PvE. And two, everybody is stacking a bajillion effect resistance. Everybody's stacking a bajillion immunity. Everybody has Carmen. Everybody has all the things. It just is no use, right? Like, you toss in an AoE defense break, you get Elbus, you get ML Kend, it just legit nullifies it. So that's why I don't touch her anymore. I have the gear for her, and maybe I should give her a little bit more. She's also insane in Raid and Abyss, but we don't really have any of that content we need her for right now. And the hardest boss in Abyss is Fire, or the hardest boss in Raid is Fire right now, so she doesn't really excel there. She's also an atrocious camper, which makes her slightly worse there. So that's my stance on her right now. I like her as fast as possible, kind of in the 200s if possible. Crit rate, crit damage, all those things. Get her scaling off of her skill 1. Her skill 1 is just absolutely bonkers. Ooh, and my new favorite unit, I freaking Steria. I think if we go back to day 1 when I saw her in the story, I feel like she was one of my most wanted units. I just love her design. I love skill reset. It's such an insane ability. And the more characters we get in the future, the better I feel like it gets. She's got unable to be buffed. She's got 2 flippin' defense breaks. She's got just everything. She's absolutely insane. I absolutely flippin' love her. She also makes the best PvE unit in the game, in Tamarin, a better person or a better unit. Not only in PvE, but also in PvP. Especially now with the change to Sez and Windrider. She's kind of my go-to for everything. Like, she's my go-to for Guild Wars now. I use Tamiseria X for basically everything, every single team. And she's also my go-to for Arena offense now. I use Tamiseria, maybe Baiken, maybe Sez, just Tamiseria, any other 2. And it works perfectly. And the best part is she's really greedy for stats, but it doesn't really matter what her stats are. Like, I have mine on attack percent, pretty bad health percent. Like I said, I have no HP percent. I do what I can. Speed boots, and just like a mix of defense and offense, and you can get her stats basically anywhere. I like to have 13k HP because sometimes you just need to take a hit, and there's so many Kens, there's so many everything out there. I like my Iceria to be able to tank things, and I care more about tanking than I do her doing damage, because the person you bring them with is the one that's going to be doing the damage. So if you have Iceria, I think she's a definite must build, especially if you're like 6, 7, 8, 6 stars in or something like that. Not your first or second or third, but like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, you know, like one of your filler 6 stars you do after. And Euphine, how we doing, Euphine? She's one I recently built due to popular demand. Twitch chat has been begging me to build Euphine for a while, or Euphine, I'm not sure how to actually say her name. And I have her built horribly wrong. I don't even know what else to say about her build at this point. But we're using a really fast, really intrusive build, you know? Like, she's got 200 speed, she's got 12k health, she's got crit rate, she's got crit damage, she doesn't have any attack, maybe that's a little bit of a problem. But overall, she's absolutely kicking butt, and she's just meant to surprise people, you know? Like, when you see a Euphine on the other team, you don't really expect her to be 200 speed, you don't really expect her to have 12,000 HP. So I find I'm getting a lot of wins because of that, but I think I'm going to change it around. I don't think she's in the bestest spot right now. There's so many effective resistance units right now. I just have a problem using her, and she doesn't do enough damage, but again, that's my fault. But at the same time, if she was any slower, if she had any less HP, she would just get bodied anyway, so it wouldn't do me any great like help there, right? Like, I'd rather just be using Luna or something like that. And I'd probably still rather just be using Luna. But I built her. I don't regret anything. We have skill ups here. I'm really happy to do this. So far for all my units, I don't have any regrets for any of these Moleagoras. Everybody put in their work. If anything, maybe a couple points in Windbreak Fan, but really that's 3 Moleagora. That's not a problem whatsoever. Iseria, I'm actually looking at it now, regretting not putting more into her. After this video, I'm probably going to go put some more. Like, why don't I have this on -1? I just don't understand what's wrong with me right now. So I definitely need to... Actually, screw this. Let's go do that. How is she not Mullah Gord? Like, what am I doing? She's like my favorite unit to use right now. It's like when I was looking at my Dizzy the other day. I didn't notice she wasn't Mullah Gord. So let's go like this and skill enhance Oathkeeper. There we go. I feel so much better about my life after that. And we're also going to do this one. How many Moleagora do we have left? 18? Yeah, why don't we do this? Yeah, why don't we do this too? I like her. She's cool. There. Now we have to stop because we're running out of Moleagora and I need to save them. For Crow. So let's go back in here. Let's go back into Iseria. No, not Iseria. Vildred. Okay. The Vildred's a pretty obvious one. Vildred is by far my most used unit in the game, I think. Like, I use him everywhere. He's absolutely nutters. He's got tons of damage. He lost a little bit of usefulness with Wind Rider, but really not much at all since I wasn't using him on him anymore. His gear's looking great. I don't like him too fast. I actually like my Vildred just fast enough to go faster than the enemies, so we can farm going first and do enough damage to guarantee the kill. But this is the set I have him on. I like either speed boots, though, or speed set attack boots, one of the two. Attack boots are easier to get because you should have better access to them. But if you have Vildred, he should be built first 6-star. Doesn't matter what you have on your account, basically. I guess outside of Dark Vildred now, maybe you build Dark Vildred over Vildred. But if you don't have Dark Vildred, you basically build Vildred no matter what if you have him. Rin. Okay, so we've hit a little bit of regret here. I think this is the first one we've hit. So I love Rin. I love her. She's awesomely designed. Her skill set is amazing. She's adorable. She doesn't take the best gear. She's a great camper. But I shouldn't have put this many Moleagoras into her. I put quite a bit into her, and I just don't need her. She's kind of like a fluff character. And she doesn't help me in PvP. I tried. That's why we ended up Moleagoring her. We gave her our best gear, and it just wasn't enough. I tried everything. I couldn't really get her to excel as much as basically anybody else. So I definitely regret what I put into Rin. I love those Moleagora back, but I am happy I 6-starred her because she's a blast to use. Like, she's absolutely super duper fun to use and a great camper. And of course, she's great at Banshee as well, which is one of the harder dungeons. Okay, and Sid. I just built Sid recently. The only reason I 6-starred Sid was because I had so many of them. And I actually wanted to do the 30-second Banshee run. That's the only reason I built him. I am using him in PvP right now. Yes, this is his gear right now in PvP. It's atrocious. He doesn't do any damage, but he's just here for a little bit of speed imprint. I don't regret 6-starring him. I haven't put any valuable resources. Like, for somebody like me, 6-starring a unit does not matter, right? Like, it doesn't matter who I 6-star, when I 6-star them. That part doesn't matter. The only restraining thing I have on my characters is my Moleagora. So the fact that I have him 6-starred, he's getting a decent amount of use. I don't really like him too much, so I'm happy not Moleagoring him, and he's doing mostly what he needs to do at this time. And the biggest regret in the history of this game, all by the fault of Aloha, is Kiris. And it just makes me sad looking at this. This is a long story. For those of you who have not really been with me since day one, we had a recall system for Kiris, and I put some Moleagora into her for Abyss Rushing, and it ended 24 hours early, and my Moleagora got stuck, and I couldn't get my recall back. I've tried to fix it. I've contacted GMs. They're like, yeah, we screwed up. We ended it 24 hours early, but you can't have anything back. So I'm still salty about that. I'll bring it up as many times as I have to because I'm still ultra salty about that. So my Kiris is sitting here like this, and I'm honestly at the point where I think I just 6-star her. I do like her a lot. I love her VA. As far as I know, her VA is the same as Araminta. So she's Sumili Montano as her VA, I think. And maybe I can make a theme team or something like that. But as for usability, she's Jeez, it's one of those things that I have so many Moleagora into her. I feel like I have to build her at this point and kind of ease my regret out of my system. But geez, does it ever feel bad. So yeah, I'm really sad about this. This is a lot, like a lot of Moleagora gone. That's like $80 of Moleagora right there. Anyways, I'll stop whining about that. I know you guys have heard me whine about that enough. So let's go into dark units. What do I have for dark units? Ooh, Cdom. Cdom is great. Cdom is one of my first 6-stars. Like, I think she was in my first 6 or 7 6-stars. I used her a little bit, not enough. And I don't know why I haven't been using her more, because I have perfect gear for her, you know? Like, I'm the crit damage master, you know? Like, I'm the 50% crit rate master. Like, what am I doing not having Challenger Dominio built? Not only that, she's like the flipping cutest everything in this game. So I feel like after this video, this is another one I need to go give some love to. There's so many places in this game where I could use her. There's so many PvP places I could get a little boost out, especially with a change to Oxlot Says now. I could get a lot more use out of Cdom. And that actually makes me want to build her again. I tried camping with her. I did a video on her as well. She did like 100k damage or something. It was nutters, but like damage just didn't really matter at that point. And the more I talk about her, the more I want to build her. So my regret with Cdominial is not giving her more love, because she deserves it. Hey, congrats on Tamarin, because she deserves it. Oh, and Oxlotarinos. So everybody knows about Oxlots right now. Those of you who might not know, that haven't been here since day one, Oxlots was my first ever ML summon. And I come from Summoner's War, and there's a unit in Summoner's War called Dova. And Dova is literally this, basically. Like, does the exact same thing, fills somebody's bar up all the way, gives them attack boost all the way. And then you just one-shot everything like you do with Says. Just in Summoner's War, I used Lucian. So it was insanely similar, and I saw his skill set when I summoned him, but his bowl cut just kept me away. So I didn't build him until, you know, like, I gave in and finally did. And holy crap, do I regret not building Oxlots earlier. I think one of the biggest mistakes I've made in this game, due to my what's the word? Due to my unwillingness to use bowl cutters, I guess is the right word. Due to my waifu obsession or husbando obsession, this guy doesn't fit in either of them. Huge regret not building him beforehand, because I could have made my life so much easier. Even with the Wind Rider nerf, he is still bonkers. I still use him basically everywhere, especially with somebody like Cdom now too. I can combine him with another DPS and then Cdom to get a ton of damage done after. And if that DPS is somebody like a Baiken, like, holy crap, there's just turns and turns and turns and damage and damage and damage. My one regret with him is that I didn't roll better speed substats, because the fastest I can get him is 232, I think. And that makes me really sad, because most people that have been playing as long as I've been playing probably get him to about 245, 250 is my guess. So I'm so far behind in speed, I'm not really sure what to do about it, but it's just the RNG, so I've kind of got to deal with it. Kitty Clarissa, I love her. I love her to death. Zero regret whatsoever. She's the one who carried me through Abyss 90. I'm so cute, Meow. She's also got one of the best VAs in the history of VAs, Abby Trott. She sung the opening song to the new Smash Brothers Ultimate, so she is amazing. I wish she was slightly better, but I love her anyway, and I'm going to be gearing her up right now. Actually, I'm going to be trying to give her as much gear as possible. She's kind of in the point with me, like everybody else is, where I just don't have the HP percent gear to give her. I don't have the tank gear, so I've kind of put her on the sidelines because I just haven't been able to give her the gear she needs to survive. But I think I'm going to go with a HP pair of boots, I think I'm going to go effect resistance ring, and I think I'm going to go HP neck. Either that or speed boots. I'm not sure, but I'm going to get her built, and I'm going to try to go as much AR as possible, and I can't wait to give her some more love. Okay, Assassin Cartuja. This guy is a big, mean bully. Looking at him now, I can already say I probably should have Mullah Gord him more. I've been using him since almost day one. He was like my 3rd or 4th ML summon. One of my first batch of 6-stars, and he's always everywhere for me. I should have given him more Moleagoras. As for his gear, this is my new setup on him. 14k HP, 1300 defense. I need to change this to a Sacred Scythe, I think, but I don't have a Sacred Scythe, so I would love to be able to fix that. Oh, all right, I just summoned one. I just got one. So we can change this, actually. We literally just got a Sacred Scythe, so that's something that can change, and I can fix this. That was one of my daily summons like 2 days ago, actually. I forgot about that. Because I like him on lifesteal of some sort, so we can win those duels at the end of Guild Wars. But I wasn't able to get a lifesteal set up with immunity, so that's why I'm on triple 2-piece set. I love him right now. He's in a great place. I'm really happy with his stats. I could use more attack and more effect resistance, but overall, I can't have everything, you know? Like, I can only have what I have, so I'm happy with that. Ooh, and the last ones are big regrets. Celestial Mercedes, one of my first ML summons. It's kind of a theme here, eh? This is my second ML summon, actually. And I want her to be good. I want her to be good. I tried to make her good, and she just never did enough damage. Maybe she'll find some place to use her Dimensional Rupture, and she'll be great. One of the big problems I found, too, is I really was just wishing her skill 1 was AoE, kind of like regular Mercedes. That would make me much happier. And maybe that would make her worth building, but right now, I'm super fine with where she is. I'm happy I 6-starred, happy I tried her out, but she's not really good right now. Maybe somebody makes her work for cleaving, but I just don't think she does enough damage as opposed to somebody like Vildred, or even Clarissa, or Baiken, or anything, you know? Like, she just doesn't do enough damage. And speaking of not doing enough damage, that's not Larina. She does a ton of damage, but she's boring, and I didn't want to build her, and I'm really glad I didn't build her. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I made early game, though, was 6-starring her right away. I'm not saying she is a bad unit. She's still amazing. I think she doesn't fit as well now because of stuff like Wyvern 11 having elemental advantage and things, and I also think she doesn't fit as well because Luna is so good, and single-target DPSs are so good right now. So I do not recommend kind of new players building her because of that sort of situation we're in. But she is great. She's fantastic for Abyss 90 as well. If I had built her instead of Luna, my Abyss 90 would have been over way before I actually did it. As you can see, I have basically no investment into her. I 6-starred her out of like peer pressure from Twitch chat. My bad on that. I forget who I should have done instead of her, but I still remember the day I did it, and I remember regretting it immediately. And feeling like sick to my stomach because I did it. Because at that point, every single person had Commander Larina, so I'm just kind of happy with where I left her. Like, I'm happy I gave out and stopped building her when I did. Like, I'm happy I didn't go too far into her. Like, I'm happy there's no Moleagora here or runes or anything like that. So yeah, that's all my units. And again, I'm not covering units like this. I'm not just skipping them. It's because I have not personally used these units, so I cannot give you a personalized view of these characters. I'm not just purposely skipping them. It's just because I have not actively. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this series. This is really fun for me to do. I'll probably do this like every 3 months or something like that. And if you have any specific units you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below and I can try to talk about them. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. Hit that notification bell. It helps me out so much, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.